It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything.
There is a truth about life that we often avoid. A truth that can be terrifying, yet deeply liberating. You are free, completely free. Jean-Paul Sartre, the great existentialist philosopher, once said, "Man is condemned to be free." At first, this might sound like a curse. Condemned to be free? But think about it. What Sartre meant was that freedom is not a choice. It is the essence of our existence. And with that freedom comes responsibility. Responsibility for our choices, our actions, and ultimately, our lives. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a young woman named Clara. Clara always dreamed of becoming an artist, but she found herself trapped in a corporate job she hated. Every day, she told herself the same thing. I have no choice. I need this job to survive. She blamed her circumstances, her upbringing, and even society for her unhappiness. But one day, while browsing a bookstore, she stumbled upon Sartre's work, Being and Nothingness. In it, she read something that shook her to the core. Man is nothing else but what he makes of himself. In that moment, Clara realized something profound. She was not a victim of her circumstances. Her life was not being dictated by her job, her family, or the expectations of the world around her. She was the one choosing to stay where she was. And if she had the power to choose that, she also had the power to choose something else. The next day, Clara quit her job. It wasn't easy. She faced financial struggles, criticism, and self-doubt. But for the first time in her life, she felt alive. She was free, not because her problems disappeared, but because she took responsibility for her choices. This is what Sartre's philosophy of freedom is about. It's not about living without constraints. It's about recognizing that no matter what situation we're in, we always have a choice. Even in the darkest moments, we are free to decide how we respond. Take Viktor Frankl, for example. A Holocaust survivor, Frankl endured unimaginable suffering in a concentration camp. He lost his family, his dignity, and nearly his life. But even in those horrific conditions, he discovered a profound truth. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Sartre would have agreed. Freedom is not about what happens to us, it's about how we choose to face it. But freedom is not easy. It can feel overwhelming. Sartre himself acknowledged this when he spoke of bad faith, the tendency to deny our freedom and blame external forces for our choices. We tell ourselves, I can't leave this job, I have no choice, or I can't pursue my dream, it's too late. But these are just excuses. Bad faith is a way of running from the truth, because the truth is scary. We are responsible for our lives. Think about another example. Imagine a man who stays in a toxic relationship because he fears being alone. He convinces himself that he has no other option, but deep down he knows the truth. He is choosing to stay. Sartre would say this man is living in bad faith. He is denying his freedom because freedom comes with the weight of responsibility. It's easier to blame the other person, or life itself, than to take ownership of his choices. But here's the thing. The moment we stop running from freedom, our lives begin to change. When we embrace our responsibility, we unlock a power within us that we never knew existed. We realize that our past does not define us, and our circumstances do not control us. We are the authors of our own stories. So, what does this mean for you? It means that whatever situation you're in right now, you have a choice. Maybe you're stuck in a job you hate, like Clara. Maybe you're battling self-doubt, like the man in the toxic relationship. Or maybe you're simply afraid to take that first step toward your dream. Whatever it is, remember this. You are not a victim. You are free. And with that freedom comes the power to change your life. Sartre believed that life has no inherent meaning. This might sound bleak, but it's actually a gift. Because if life has no predetermined meaning, then we are free to create our own. You get to decide what your life means. You get to decide who you want to be. And yes, it's scary, but it's also beautiful. So I'll leave you with this. Stop waiting for permission. Stop blaming your circumstances. Stop living in bad faith. The life you want is within your reach, but only if you're willing to take responsibility for it. Embrace the weight of your freedom. Because in the end, Sartre was right. You are nothing else but what you make of yourself. Now go, make something extraordinary.